The SMX playoffs have finally arrived in MX Bikes, almost 2 months since it has happened IRL, but these guys wanted to dial in the track as best as they can. So Stone Rider, who of course put together all of the ARL Supercross tracks, finally dropped the ARL Finals Round 1 track here from Charlotte. We're going to try this track out today, talk a little bit about it. I think they're already racing it today, which is, of course, Friday, the 15th of November. Yeah, that's what day it is. I don't even know, man. It's all meshed together since we had our child, but yeah, this is now their version of the finals, and we get a chance to see kind of how this compares to some other versions we've seen. We've, of course, I think seen Steezy MX was putting tracks out. The A-Kit dude was putting a track out, so can kind of compare and contrast. Look at this, right away going to nail that quad, and probably could quad that out almost and then just roll that single. But, of course, IRL, they were going 3-2. So pretty good, I feel like, the way that they've laid out this track a little bit, that it matches what happened with the real life track. The only thing I'll say that I don't love about this track so far is the Charlotte track in real life was not very, I don't want to say it wasn't very rough, because it was rough in sections, but there was a lot of high speed sections that did not have a lot of big chop and bumps. And I don't know if it's because they're trying to slow the speed down for MX Bike's sake, because it's a video game, so you don't want it to be, you know, too unrealistically fast, or if they just thought that it was a certain way. But I do feel like some of the rough on the track really is not realistic to what it was IRL. Ooh, that double back on the straightaway is huge. But other than that, I feel like they did a good job of replicating everything. These SMX tracks have been super, super easy to replicate just because there's not a whole lot going on to them. So you don't need to put a lot of effort into making like this crazy, really good replica track. Nice wheelie down the straightaway right there, almost looped out. Get to that inside, bounce into the corner, and come back out. Much better lap than I did for this challenge where I was just doing a lap for social, but not a very good first lap in general. So, yes, the finals are finally here. It's been a minute, and they're obviously happening today. Not able to stream them, not able to stream the AOMX Championship that's still going on just because I got to take care of my children at the evening times of the day. But if these races were sometimes ran in the day, I think I could be able to stream a few of them. Anyway, it's kind of cool to see MX Bikes, you know, pull this together, get it actually ran and off. I think it should have probably gone sooner, to be honest. I think we're a little deep in the off season now for it, but I get what they were trying to do and why they waited so long. And obviously Diego, who is Stone Rider, who is working on the MTG Motocross the Game project, is a little bit busy with some other stuff right now. So I get it. You know, they're not devoting all their time to MX Bikes as it were anymore, but yeah, I still think that, you know, this probably could have went a little bit sooner. The sim stuff has been gone for, or done for quite a while. And this weekend, IRL is Paris Supercross coming up. So with Paris Supercross happening this weekend, I feel like real life attention's turned to that a little bit. But I still think it's kind of cool for the aerial players and all the top guys in MX Bikes to still get a chance to actually race this and compete in this. Obviously, for MX Bike's sake, it's the top of the esport echelon at the moment. And so for these guys to still be able to do the full season, because we've done Supercross, we've done Motocross, they've done GP stuff. Now we get to do SMX, or ARL Finals as they're calling it, of course, and get a full synopsis of the season. And we also get to see how Stone Rider built this track and what they are able to accomplish with this. I think it's a very, very good rendition of the track, though. Like I said, it's having kind of walked almost the whole track and been there in person, you really get a sense of the scale and how fast everything was. Like, these guys are probably third or fourth gear pretty easily through this straightaway, maybe even faster, so could have even made these straightaways a little bit longer. But in terms of realism, like, I feel like he's got it pretty dialed in. I think the lap times, if I remember right, were in the 130 somethings or so, maybe 120s when they started really waking it up. But it was very long lap times, as SMX always tries to do. Like, they don't want it to just be like another Supercross track, so they really go all out with the massive scale of the track. Whoa, looping out or going over the bars. But yeah, this is pretty cool to actually see it put together in the game. And yeah, it's $2 on the MX Bike shop. For those of you that always raise questions about why are they doing paid mods, should just be free and stuff like that, it's two different schools of thoughts. If you are a fan of the racing, you know, you'll pay to race and all that stuff like that, which is what Race Factory has done. But these guys, in some shape or form, are trying to optimize their profits, right? So making anybody that gets the track pay for it allows that opportunity, because for them, even if people don't race, they still get the track. So there's two schools of thought. You pay for the track and, you know, then it's free to race, or you pay for the race and then a lot more people get the track for free. So Is it the right move? I don't know. I think both models kind of work. I think a lot of people have enjoyed that the sim tracks have been free, but also sim has been going downhill a lot, so we haven't had much to really talk about over there. So having tracks for free kind of keeps player base a little bit happier, I think. MX Bikes, there's just so many players that paying for tracks isn't necessarily too much of a problem because there's so many people actually getting the tracks regardless. But let me know what you guys think of this track so far and how it kind of ranks or scales for you compared to some of the other tracks we've seen from ARL this year. For those of you that don't like really get it or understand, ARL, Aerial Racing League, that puts on Supercross, Motocross, and now the finals, has a myriad of different track builders. And Stone Rider has been the guy pretty much doing all the work with Supercross, whereas JV and Hell Machine have been doing a lot of work for the outdoors. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't sound like they really like work together necessarily for these tracks, which would have been kind of cool to like see JV and Hell Machine do the outdoors sections of the track, and then Stone Rider kind of do like maybe the base terrain or more like the rhythm sections of the track. But still kind of cool that we get different flavors throughout the year. That's not exactly well, no, I guess it is accurate, because IRL, the people that build the tracks for the nationals are way different than the people that build for the Supercross races, and then those two actually kind of come together to build SMX, oddly enough. You guys probably didn't actually know that, but a lot of the people that worked on, I think, let me think, there's a few tracks, I'm not going to remember them off the top of my head, but a few tracks did donate their services to building some of these SMX tracks, and I'm assuming it's just kind of the ones that are fairly local-ish to the area. You know, water trucks and stuff like that were available to use for Feld, because these rounds are much bigger than what Feld has ever really had to deal with or build. It's just the reality of it. I mean, they built Supercross tracks and stadiums forever, and Daytona and Atlanta, but for the most part, they don't really go as vast and far as this and bring in this many truckloads of dirts, or have to think about building outdoor sections. So it's good to have track crews from the MX Sports side of it come in, lend their expertise, and build sections that kind of work. So apologies, I can't remember who is the gentleman that was doing on the work on the outdoor sections, but there was a guy legitimately doing a lot of work for the outdoor stuff, and then the indoor stuff, the Dirtworks track crew was kind of putting in their 2 cents on building rhythm sections and stuff like that to make it work. Jeez, I just keep... sometimes I loop out and sometimes I slip out with this new OEM stuff, but getting slowly okay and used to it. Doesn't help when I take multiple weeks off to be with my family after a child is born, that I lose a lot of sense of how to play this game, but we're trying to get it back, trying to feel good about it. And yeah, maybe we'll be able to slot in for like a EU SMX race or something like that. Goodness, if we could just get on the brakes and not go over the bars, that'd be great. So yeah, this is a little update today, letting you guys know the SMX finals are finally here for ARL. $2 for this track. I'm assuming it'll be $2 for Texas Motor Speedway next week, and Vegas finale the week after that. So the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th is when these tracks will drop. So literally the day after Thanksgiving is when you'll be able to play all of them. But at least the first round is now here. They're racing on it right now, or today at this point, and excited to see what the results are from some of the top players in MX Bikes as well. So next week, when we come back and play round 2, I'll try to give you guys an update on who won in EU and NA. But for now, just going to kind of give you guys a quick update on this and send you on your way today. Hopefully you enjoyed playing a little bit of the SMX Finals, ARL's new finals for 2024. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns of how to get these bikes into the game, let me know. Happy to answer any of those questions in the comment section below. But appreciate you guys stopping by, watching another video here on the channel. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. So long for now.